Hi y'all, and welcome back to the garden. So I've got some big news. I think this is very exciting news for me. I think it will also be exciting for y'all. You may notice all of the plants behind me here. Those are from my good friend Natalie at 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 when I went up there 2 weeks ago now to Grand Haven to see Spring Meadow Nurseries and Walter's Gardens. It has honestly been a whirlwind the past 2 weeks. Spring Meadow Nursery, the hospitality they gave us as creators was really incredible and unmatched. And then we got to view Walter's Gardens, beautiful trial gardens, and the perennials there are absolutely gorgeous. Some of the best shade gardens I've ever seen. And then last week I got to join some of the same people and my friend Jess at 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, and that was also an incredible experience. And I got to connect with some of the brands that I've used on my channel before, like Crescent Garden and 𝗟𝗓, which I love their watering tools. I actually have one right here to water all of these plants that my friend Natalie sent me, but I digress. This is going to be a pretty quick video, I think. You may be wondering what I'm going to be doing with all of these plants, and I have big plans. You may recognize some of these plants. This one was in my landscape. And if you've been watching my friends on YouTube and me over the past few weeks, you may have noticed that I'm not shooting as many videos as I have been, both professionally and personally. I have been really busy. So let's start. My friend Jess posted a video yesterday dividing some perennials. And if you were watching carefully, you may have recognized when she showed a video of me that I was potting up this hosta that Walter's Gardens gave me about a month ago. They sent them out to trial. This is Echo the Sun, a new hosta coming out pretty soon. We're also dividing some of my irises in the garden, and the rule for her was if she digs one, she's got to dig two. My friend Janie was here, and we shot a very quick kind of garden tour. It was about 30 minutes long. And if you watch that video really carefully, you may have noticed a sign in my front yard. Behind me here, there are between 40 and 50 shrubs, some of them brand new hydrangeas to the market from 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲. Some of them shrubs from my own garden. You may notice some of the Japanese maples behind me. When I did a garden tour, a few weeks ago, and someone was asking about the snow sickle hydrangea. It's here behind me as well, and that's because we're moving. It was very unexpected. I, for the past year, have had, or longer, have had a filter set up on Zillow for any properties over 5 acres in our area, you know, just to look. We refinanced our home a couple years ago and had an excellent interest rate, so it was never in the plans to move this early, but one popped up in my inbox Friday when I was eating lunch, and we decided to go check it out, and it was the perfect home on the perfect piece of property. And if you've been watching really carefully, you may have noticed in the video that I pulled out some things. I haven't shown some things. I'm actually taking my Carolina Sweetheart red bud that I planted last November in the garden. It's one of the first things I dug up before we listed our home for sale. So I just wanted to make this quick video to tell you I have 1 week left in my garden. My friend Janie from Dig Plant Water Repeat is much more brave than I am and announced that she was moving several weeks ago. As you may or may not know, I'm an attorney, and I'm well aware of the things that can go wrong with any real estate transaction, and we finally signed all the papers today. So I'm confident enough to say that I own this new home and we're going to be moving. So I have about a week left in the garden. That is not very long, and it's about the time that I would be doing my summer garden tour. The garden is a little weedy. I have not been able to get to it very much. There's been lots of packing going on, lots of things to move to the new place, and I'm going to try and shoot that garden tour over the next week. It's going to be more abbreviated than usual. I'm probably not going to get super sophisticated with all of the editing that I sometimes do. Because I want to make a memory of this garden best I can, because my memory fades pretty quickly, the plant names fade pretty quickly, and I want to capture this garden as we are leaving this home. And I know I've heard it before, why would you ever leave this home? I've spent 5 years 5 to 6 years developing this garden. Most of the garden was put in the past 2 to 3 years, especially in the backyard. There's been a lot of work there. Put a lot of money into this home with the beautiful pergola and patio. But me, as an Alabama boy, has never intended to live in a subdivision forever. I grew up on 10 to 20 acres almost my entire life. And I also live in a neighborhood where I have maxed out the space that I can actually plant in and feel comfortable about it. So we went and toured this home the same day it was listed. And I'll tell you more about that process later, but several offers and we ended up winning, and we move in probably over the next week. We're going to get access to the home early. So there's going to be lots of stuff to move, including all of my plants that I'll have to keep watered. And then my next video will probably be a video at the new garden. Now I must tell you, the garden needs a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's 5 acres. The home is set back off the road, plenty of space to do some beautiful things at this home. And I can more confidently say that I expect that this home will be my forever home, so I can confidently plant things there that get large without having to worry about invading any space on the neighbors or anything like that, and experiment more with spaces like vegetable gardens, maybe try some fruit trees again or some berry bushes. I would like to grow cut flowers. I would like to grow shrubs to cut on. And one day my dream was, and has been for quite a while, is to have a wedding venue that I can grow a beautiful garden in, that people can come spend time together and enjoy the rest of their lives with some beautiful memories in a space that I created. So to protect the privacy of our sellers, I don't have any photos of the home to show you, but I will be taking some, and we'll be shooting a video over the next week in that garden as well, just to kick it off. I have a lot to do. I want to clean up the garden a little bit this weekend so I can get the garden tour shot. I want to shoot a couple more videos here before I'm gone from this garden. But you can see behind me, there are lots of beautiful things here. And because there's so much space at this new place, this is only going to be the touch point of the things that get put into this garden. The garden needs a lot of stuff removed and fixed up, and so my job this rest of the summer is going to be cleaning out those garden beds, because a lot of the things are just, they've reached the end of their life and there's no means to improve those plants. There's a lot of old varieties of spirea that have a lot of dead wood in it. There's going to be some trees that need to be removed over time, and then of course lots of trees planted to give it that little southern flair that I love so much, including another Bracken's Brown Beauty magnolia, hopefully, but those things may have to go in next spring. Moving from a garden that you've created is an interesting feeling. I didn't expect it to hit me so hard, and I struggled with it initially quite a lot, and I've kind of moved on a little bit. When you start, my friend Jess, when she moved from her garden almost 2 years ago now, I understand what she felt. There's been a lot of dissociating over the past month, so I've not shot a whole lot of videos. Some parts of the garden are a little weedy, and I would typically be more on top of those. But just the process of moving and packing everything up and preparing all of the things that have to be done to move your entire life has been a bit crazy. Not moving far, it's 20 minutes away from here, and it's going to be a really great experience, I think. A lot of capabilities that I can do there that I couldn't do here. And I'll have more news for you in the next video, but for now I wanted to shoot a quick video while I had the chance. It's the end of the day. It's been a whirlwind of a day, a week, a month and a half, and bring you along for this journey now that I know with more certainty how it's going to look. So thank you guys for following along. I hope you will join me at the new property, even though there's not going to be much of a garden. But I think this will be an excellent opportunity for me to show you, because I didn't have a channel when I started this garden, how I would start a garden from scratch. And initially this is going to be a lot of clean out. There are, like I mentioned, some older shrubs, but there are also some invasive perennials on the property, including gooseneck loosestrife, which, as you may or may not know, is illegal to be sold in Ohio now. So we want to get that removed because it's taking over a huge portion of the property, or a huge portion of a bed in the backyard. So there's going to be a lot of cleanup this fall. I'm going to try and get a chip drop kind of immediately now that I have space to do that on the property. And since we're going to be doing a lot of things big scale, I'm going to have to use something like wood chips to improve the health of the soil initially, because the soil in some of these flower beds have not been mulched for years, it looks like. And so there's a lot of weeds, a lot of cleanup, but it's going to be fun and an exciting experience to show all of you on YouTube. Thank you guys for following along. And remember, in a world full of hate, be a light. Stay tuned, and I'll check in soon.